So like, what's been like the biggest difference from then and now? Because there's probably lots of difference.
Yeah. So, um, yeah. So being so young and whatnot, and I was never like my grandfather was a really big businessman, right?
Oh, grandfather.
Yeah, my grandfather was a big businessman. He owned a taxi business here. Um, but but other than that, I wasn't really around like business entrepreneur mindset. I was growing into blue collar, hardworking, work your 9 to 5, make some overtime. That's how you make your money. So that's what was instilled in my brain. So even through all of this business and like seeing all this traction and whatnot, this was still just a side thing for me. It was always just a side hustle. But like my paychecks, my W-2s was what I thought on how to be successful, how to buy a house, all that stuff. So I've always worked since I was like 20 years old to just recently, or 18 years old till I think like 28, 27, whenever COVID was, yeah. Pandemic was. That's what I thought. Like, dude, I just gotta like grind, like wake up, have multiple jobs, work some overtime, get that money. So that's what I did. So I always had at least like 2 or 3 jobs. 2 or 3 jobs on top of the Bolo bill, So I think there was a span of like 3 years where I had two full-time jobs and then one part-time job. Yeah, so I would like wake up at 4.
What the hell?
Yeah, wake up at 4 in the morning, do my banquet shift, 4 to like 8, a 4-hour shift, go to the airport, work my 9 to 5. Right after the 9 to 5, go to the gym, get my workout in from 5:30 to 6:30, and then do a closing shift from 7 to like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Holy.
Yeah. So I was working like 70, 80-hour work weeks. It was stupid. It was stupid, man.
Wow.
On top of competing in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But that's what I thought, like work more to make more, So that was out there all there. And then boom, pandemic, COVID happened, right? So basically I didn't lose, well, everyone got unemployed, right?
Right.
So those 3 jobs out of the business or out of the picture. So
sounds like hotel jobs?
Yeah. So it was 2 hotel jobs and the airline job.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. All boom. Yeah, as far as pandemic wise, all unemployed. So that like 4 to 8 shift, 9 to 5 shift, 7 to 11 shift gone. So all I had was like, dude, what am I gonna do? Right? And I'm so used to like working.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I guess I can just like put more time into my business. So I did that, right? So I was all like, okay, since all I have to do is my business, like what can I do? I was like, let's make some apparel, right? So I started making apparel for my business, for marketing and whatnot. Started making investments. So I got that rolling. I was like, okay, that's like 2 hours out of the day. That takes out 2 hours of the day. What else can I do? Since all the gyms are closed, like, dude, I might as well just like start training people in my garage. I have a garage,
So like all the equipment.
Yeah, so all the equipment. So I started buying equipment, which was stupid during COVID. You went through that too, right? Oh my god,
everything.
I bought like 20-pound dumbbells for like $100.
Exactly.
It was stupid.
Yeah, now it's like $1 a pound. Yeah, right? It's like, why is it $5 a pound? What the hell?
I was like, what else I'm gonna do? So I literally like my savings. I just thought like, you know what? It's gonna be like in my head at first. I was all like, I can't spend 15 grand on a freaking garage gym, man.
Yeah.
But I was like, what else I'm gonna do? I'm stuck at home, being the person that like addicted to work and whatnot. I was just laying down on my bed. I was like, I gotta do something. I gotta do it. So I ended up just buying a bunch of equipment and whatnot, and then I started building a garage gym, right? Which I was so scared about because for me, it's hard to make big purchases. Like I said, growing in that like scarcity mindset of like, damn, like I'm not working right now. Like, how am I gonna make this money back if I buy this? But there was just something in me that I just thought like, dude, I got to do it. Like all I have right now to work on is my business. Like all these jobs are gone. Mind you, yes, like I was able to like collect unemployment in the beginning, but still, like, how am I gonna make like what am I gonna do if I just have my business? So I was like, screw it, whatever. I'm gonna take a leap of faith. Spent that 15 grand in the gym. was like, okay, like as long as I make this back within 2 years, like I'll be okay. I made it back in 4 months. Yeah. So like I was all like, huh, okay, this clicked too. Like, okay, I'm actually doing pretty good on this. Then I seen like, okay, like maybe if I just like put more time like trying to like market myself, I never like throughout all these years, I never did like start posting, hey, if you're interested in coaching, message me, on my Instagram. Everything was referrals. Like throughout that entire 6-7 years was all referral based on how I get my clientele. So I never started marketing. So I was like, yeah, maybe I'll try it out. I'll let people know that I'm coaching people. I let people know that I have like a little garage gym. So I started doing that, and boom, dude, my business doubled, tripled. Um, and then I started looking at like the revenue that was coming in. Like, dude, I'm actually like matching all of my 3 jobs with just my business now. So it kind of like grew on, and plus like I'm not working that 75 hours a week right now. Like I'm working maybe just like a regular full-time 40 hours a week job. So like half the work doing something that I love, making the same amount of money. Maybe we got something here, right? But I was still on like the edge, like, oh yeah, but like maybe it's just now because like people need a place to work out because of COVID, and like people are having all of this unemployment money to spend on me now, so like they're just putting aside money to pay for me. Maybe all of this is going to go away once everyone gets back into their jobs and whatnot. So
And this was 2 years ago, yeah?
This was during COVID, yeah. Well, whenever this was, maybe what was that, 2019? 3 years? It was 4 years now, maybe.
2020.
Oh, yeah. 2020. Okay,
crazy,
yeah. Ooh, that's crazy.
3 years.
That's fast, but long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I still was on the fence of like, okay, yeah, like once my jobs go back, like, okay, I'll still try to put time on Bolo Bill, and I'll still probably work my jobs. Maybe I'll quit one, whatever. So yeah, so things started ending as far as the pandemic. People started getting their jobs back, getting all the shots or whatnot, the requirements to get back to work. So I still kept my jobs. I did let go of one of the part-time, that 4 to 9 one.
Oh, right.
So I was like, okay, yeah. I'm pretty like Bolo Boat is still good, but I'm not ready to just fully submerge into it right yet, right? So yeah, went back to work. Still did Bolo Bill. I was like, okay, I'll get back to work at the hotel because Bolo Bill's gonna drop down. Bolo Bill never did drop down. Like it stayed there, right? It stayed at that revenue. But I was still working, so like I made that revenue. And then I was like, like, okay, like COVID has ended. People are going back to work. Bolo Bill is still making the same revenue as it was during COVID. So like my scare of people dropping off because of like unemployment is stopping isn't really so true, So I still did, my full-time job, Bolo Bill, revenue was going up. I saw my bank account like skyrocket. And then this was the first year I ever made my 6 figures. So, 6 figures in that sense, as far as both my business and my job, 6 figures in my bank account net, right? Saved. But I was, like still scared as far as like leaving my business go. But as far as so on, like the business was still growing. But I was still stuck at work all the time. So like now, like, I left this job because I was tired of working my 75, 80-hour work week. So I reduced it down to 60 hours now. But now Bolo Bill was growing, so boom, back up to 80, So I was like, damn, dude, I can't keep doing this. Like, even people would see me like, dude, are you okay? I was like, why? Like, you look so tired. Like every single day was like that.
Oh, shit.
I started having to use like eye drops every single day because like I'd wake up with my eyes are just bloodshot, dude. Yeah. And everyone's like, dude, like you look sick. I was like, I feel fine. Like, dude, you look like you're losing hair. You're like your eyes are baggy and whatnot. Like you gotta rest, man. And like this was like the first, like everyone's like, oh, dude, I'm so proud of you. Like you're grinding, man. How do you do it? How do you hustle? Like. When people saw me like during that time now, like people are like, dude, are you okay? Like, I was like, yeah, why, what's up? It's like, you look tired, man. You should get some rest. Like no one was telling me like, oh yeah, grind, man, grind. Like my family, my friends was all like, you don't look good. So I was like, huh, yeah, like maybe I am overworking myself and whatnot. So I've always like, I was like, what am I gonna do? You know, like, I'm scared to leave this job because it's so stable.
Where
And I was
was this one?
waking.
The
This is the
last one?
serving at the Marriott.
Oh, the Marriott.
Yeah,
Oh,
serving
okay,
at the
okay,
Marriott,
okay, okay.
which is really good money. Tourism
Right.
is really good money in Hawaii, which is a really good job there.
Yeah.
But you know, my business is my passion, right? So I was like so torn between like, I know I gotta let something go. Um, this is for sure. I know I bring bank. I make good money on here. That job alone, you can make 6 figures in there. As far as on your W-2. And Bolo Bill is like, you know, it has its spikes as far as fitness, you know, has your January 1st guys. Yeah, the seasons, you know, as far as any business. It was like something got to go.
And this is when last year.
This was last year.
Last year, bro. Holy shit. Okay.
So I was all like, yeah, just asking, you know, high level people or like the people around me, like, dude, I don't know what to do, man. Like, I'm tired every single day. I'm tired. And everyone's all like, follow your passion, man. Follow your passion. Like, if there's anyone that can make it happen, you can make it happen. You know, you're Mr. Make It Happen. Like, you always say that shit to me. So like, do it yourself. I was like, okay. I was like, okay. So yeah, just surrounding myself with more people in business savvy mindsets. Like they're all like, dude, what are you still doing here? Or like, and even like my coworkers all like, dude, I see your business is popping. Like, why are you still working here? So like, it's like, oh well, just because it's good money. Is like, yeah, but like, dude, like imagine you put that time that you're putting here into your business again. It can grow back. So I was all like, man, like, I don't know. And I was just like contemplating back and forth for months and months and months. So finally, I was all like, you know what? Like I've always told myself that I want to retire before 30. In a sense, retire as far as like just doing what I love, you know, working for myself. I'm not really retired right now, but you know, as far as
meaning like from like
as far as jobs. So I told myself I was 30, which came perfect timing because
last year.
Yeah, last year I was 29. Dude, I was all like, okay, it's a sign, man. Like everything happened for this reason. Like COVID happened when I was like 28, whatever. It proved myself that I can do this whole business thing alone, or business thing, and actually still like make a living out of it. This is my last year of being 30. I told myself and told like my family and my friends, like, what, I promise you I'm gonna retire before 30 and whatnot. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay true to my word. And I had all of my 2 weeks notices already written out for December of
last year.
Before 30, you know. And I had this written out.
Do you remember
like
when?
Summertime.
December? Beginning of the month.
Well, I already had it written out. So I already wrote down like, hey guys, I'm just letting you know, like I'm gonna be stepping down my employment just because like to focus on my business. And it was always a dream of mine to leave all my W-2s before I hit 30. I think I put that in my W-2 too. It was the same thing, you know, for both. And I wrote that down in the beginning of the year, and I marked it for December. I think it was like 2 weeks. So 2 weeks before December 31st or whatever. I think December 15th. Around there, something like that.
Almost a full year ago. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, dude. Almost a full year ago. Yeah. But I wrote it down as well, like
in 12 months.
Yeah. But then like I wrote it down for there, but I was always contemplating like, am I actually gonna do this? I'm actually gonna do this. And then that time came where I saw the date mark stamped, and I was all like, I'm gonna do it. I gotta do it. And I can always come back. In my head, I was all like, I'm pretty sure like they would rehire me, even though me sending this whole note of me leaving and always wanted to retire. So I did do that. So I left the airlines. I left the hotel. Well, I'm still employed with the hotel, but I dropped down to casual because there was just there was like an agreement that worked on both sides of the parties, you know. But yeah, man. My goal and dream of being a full-blown entrepreneur before 30, I made it happen. So, and that's what I did. And that, it's the best decision I made. I wish I made that that timeline a little shorter. I wish I said it was I want to retire at 25 or retire at 21. Like, yeah, because dude, I love it, man. I'm thinking now, like, uh, I lost, I missed out on a lot these last 10 years. These last 10 years of working so much. Working those 80-hour weeks of those 3 jobs, doing the business. Um, so in tune with like I'm gonna make 6 figures. I'm gonna make 6 figures. I'm gonna make 6 figures. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make it happen. And it took working all those jobs and the business and whatnot. And then now I'm like looking like ever since I left those jobs, I'm working like honestly maybe like 6 hours a week, 6 hours a week, and making the same revenue I was making when I was working 80 hours a week. And it's such a blessing. Time is so valuable, and like the free time that I have now is just insane. It's just insane. And yeah, like it's not like I'm blown up and I'm not a millionaire and everything, but I think like I feel like a millionaire just like of the time freedom that I have. But I do want to say this though, I would have never been in this position that I am now to be able to work these like 5-hour weeks, 6-hour weeks if I didn't spend those 10 years of working those 80-hour weeks.
The foundation.
Yeah, the foundation. Yeah. So like, I know a lot of people that are going to hear this like, oh, freaking, okay, I'm going to quit my job, dude. If I can work 6 hours a week and make this money, like I'm doing it. Like, no, like I had to do that to get to where I'm now.
Yeah.
Like there was no other way. There's no other way to like know how to grind, know how to like, to best use my time, like, cause I like on top of my 3 jobs, I still had the business to go. But I only had so many hours of the day. So I had to learn, okay, how do I like work so efficiently in these 2 hours that I do have to make all of this. And now that I had that skill, that's why I can work. Like I can bang everything out in 2 hours. I can create all these plans and like know how to like best use my time in this short amount of period. And that's why I only work so little bit, because like I've built that skill to have a 4-hour job, do it in 30 minutes now. Yeah. So I'm at that point now, where I'm all like, okay, like I have a lot of time freedom. I had that 80-hour work weeks. I was able to condense that as far as working to income ratio and to 6 hours. And now I'm like, okay, now I have so much free time. How do I scale and like multiply that revenue now that I'm worth more money per hour. Like, yeah. So like now I only work 6. Like, how do I work 40 hours and have my hourly pay the same? So I think that's where I'm at right now in my business. That's why I'm like connecting with people that's actually doing it, like you and a bunch of other people that I can say are my friends and mentors. That's doing what I want to do and scale the business to numbers that I wouldn't even think possible before. For me, like once I made 6 figures, I was like, dude, I made it. I freaking made it, dude. I made it. But that's just that mindset, on Maui and like just being like surrounded by blue collar workers.
Yeah, because when we grew up, we probably thought, or at least I did. I was like, man, only doctors, lawyers,
exactly,
and like, right? And then I'm a freaking 1.9 GPA.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, you were one of the dumb Asian kids,
right, yeah.
Working as a minimum wage. So I feel that.
Yeah, and it's crazy, because that's just the mindset a lot of people grow up into when they're in school, which isn't a bad thing, dude. Like that's an amazing career and stuff. But there's
if you love it,
if you love it, right? Yeah. So like I'll never dock on people who like have a passion to go into these things,
Yep.
If my passion was to be a doctor, which it was in the beginning, or it wasn't so much a passion, it was the money tied to it, It wasn't like, oh, I want to be a doctor. I was like, no, I want to be a doctor. I want to make the money that a doctor makes, so that's why I want to be a doctor. But yeah, since going into the business thing, like, and all the fitness and entrepreneur stuff, like, no, this is what I want to be, right? It's a passion thing. So like, follow your passion and just be the freaking best that you are in your passion, right? And that's where our entrepreneur is, right? They're like, we want to be the top of our game, right? So